Coming up, mask off, businesses open as Oxford takes away their mask mandate. That and more coming up. Newswatch Ole Miss starts now. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. I'm Kennedi Cooper. The city of Oxford ordered Mississippi Critters to stop accepting new animals. A recent investigation into claims of animal abuse and neglect at the shelter resulted in no criminal charges. Investigators presented their results to the Board of Aldermen Tuesday night. They found issues with the shelter's staffing, record keeping, cleanliness, and lack of transparency, among others, but none of the findings merited in criminal charges. The district attorney and attorneys of outside Oxford will review the results. The shelter will be allowed and accept two already scheduled transports of animals. An animal cruelty house at the Mississippi Critters will still have a home there. Newswatch reporter Hannah Deere is following the story and will keep us updated as it develops. With increased vaccine distribution and lower coronavirus case numbers, Governor Tate Reeves removed the mask mandate. News reporter Madeline Nolan spoke with Oxford residents about their reactions following the news.
A year since COVID-19 restrictions went into effect, Governor Tate Reeves issued a new executive order to lift the mask mandate and allow businesses to operate at full capacity.
But we are not going to continue to use the heavy hand of government when it is no longer justified by the reality we see around us.
Some residents we spoke with said they are ready for normalcy to return, while others feel it is too soon.
So I'm for it. I'm still probably wear my mask in some places, but use common sense, and I think it'll be fine.
I think it's a little too early. It's happened before, and we've had a big rebound, and I'd hate to see that happen again once we're getting so close.
Now, by the time that you're watching this, the executive order will have gone into effect. That means that the businesses behind me will no longer be operating with COVID-19 restrictions. So that means less people will be wearing these and more people will be on the square.
On-campus classes still remain online, but some students anticipate the new order.
I think it's time for everything to start getting back to normal because at some point we have to. So I'm glad we finally took that first step.
Others say it is too early.
I feel like if we held this out for 2 or 3 more months, then we really could get leadway with it. But for right now, I'm kind of scared.
The governor, however, says it would be wise for businesses and residents to continue to follow CDC guidelines and wear masks when social distancing is not an option. I'm Madeline Nolan, Newswatch Ole Miss.
And with the mask mandate being lifted, many are wondering how attendance will change at sporting events. Emily Cochran is on set with more. Emily?
Thanks, Kennedy. Shortly after the announcements that COVID restrictions would be lifted at both the state and local levels, Athletic Director Keith Carter released a statement detailing what capacity at games will look like moving forward.
As permitted by the governor's latest executive order, we are beginning a phased approach of expanding our outdoor attendance to full capacity over the coming weeks.
Most of the focus on the announcement was on Swayze Field, where individual tickets will not yet be available for this weekend's game against Belmont, but will become available in the future. The number of available student tickets will double this weekend and continue to rise as the season moves forward. Masks will still be required when entering and walking around the stadium, but can be removed while fans are seated, and other safety measures will still be followed. I've got more on Rebel baseball coming up later on. Kennedy, back to you.
The Oxford Police Department has solved a cold case after matching Jerry Owens' DNA sample to the sexual assault kit from 2013. DNA samples were collected from Indiana and came back positive. Once presented to the Lafayette grand jury, Owens was arrested on rape on February 24, 2021. Chief Matt Cutchin thanked investigators for continuing to work on this cold case. Opening and closing night selections for the Oxford Film Festival was recently announced as a robust lineup which will take place later in March in all of April. Screenings will be held in the Oxford Commons area, Malco Outdoor Seminar, and a special drive-in at the Oxford High School. Closing night will be a special free-to-the-public presentation of Natchez film comedy Breaking News in Yuba County. Oxford Film Festival will also offer in-person filmmaker panels this year. Just 2 weeks ago, snow covered Oxford, and now we are back in the 70s. Kelly Weatherton is next to let you know whether or not you are going to need those jackets again on Stormwatch.
Rising temperatures and sunny skies. Stay tuned to find out more on Stormwatch.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Each year, hurricanes and major flooding threaten cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hello and welcome back to Stormwatch. I'm Kelly Weatherton here with our current temperatures of Northeast Mississippi. As you can see, we currently have 55 in South Haven, 58 in Oxford, 56 in Holly Springs, 61 in Tupelo, as well as 57 in Corinth. Now taking a look at our current temperature here in Oxford, we have 58 degrees, cloudy skies, winds coming from the east and northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, as well as an 11% chance of rain. Moving on to this evening, we can expect highs in the mid-40s as well as cloudy skies, winds coming from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, as well as a 4% chance of rain. Moving on to tomorrow's forecast, you can see we have a high of 58 degrees, sunny skies, winds coming from the north and northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, as well as a 1% chance of rain. Moving on to our weekend outlook, you can see that we're going to have sunny skies throughout the entire weekend, as well as highs in the 50s to 60s, as well as lows in the mid-30s, making it a great weekend to support our baseball team. And that is all. Have a wonderful weekend, Rebels.
Ole Miss baseball got back on track with a dominant midweek, and 3 of Coach Kiffin's Rebels received invites to this year's NFL Combine. Emily Cochran has that and more coming up next in sports.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Dollar dogs weren't the only things hot at Swayze this week. The Rebs have bounced back from their weekend series heartbreak to break a couple of hearts of their own with 2 strong midweek showings on the diamond. The Rebels faced Memphis on Tuesday after an hour rain delay. The Tigers secured the early lead but wouldn't hold on for long. With a career day for Justin Bench going 3 for 4 behind the plate and Greer Holston's season debut, Memphis had no answers for the Rebel bats and Ole Miss came out on top 16-4. Yesterday was not much different for Jackson State, with Ole Miss earning an early 7-0 lead in the second inning. Stellar days behind the plate for Hayden Leatherwood and Kevin Graham combined with a strong first career start by Tyler Myers. JSU just didn't stand a chance. The Mercy Rule had the Rebels call it a night in 7 with the 12-1 victory over Jackson State. Tossing it over to the court, the Rebel basketball team came out with a 70-62 win over the Kentucky Wildcats Tuesday night. Kentucky scored first, but Ole Miss went on a run and didn't look back. While the Cats kept it tight, double-doubles from KJ Buffin and Romello White, along with 17 points from Devontae Schuler, was just too much. According to ESPN's Joe Lunardi, the Rebs have a shot to make the tournament. They host Vanderbilt for senior night in their regular season final Saturday before they begin play in the SEC tournament. Ole Miss softball faced North Alabama in their home opener on Tuesday. After a 14-game run on the road, the Rebels are more than happy to be back in Oxford. With facing the ASUN pitcher of the year, the Rebels had to be patient in getting the offense going. And after straining the bases loaded in the 4th, Ole Miss cracked the code in the 5th when Blaze Beeringer got things rolling with a 1-out triple to the fence in left field. A few batters later, fellow freshman Ansley Furbush came through with 2 outs, legging out an infield single, allowing 2 to score and break the deadlock. Sydney Gutierrez plated another insurance run in the 5th with a triple of her own, and Borgen did the rest, retiring the final 14 batters of the game, securing the 3-0 victory for Ole Miss. The Rebels will kick off the Ole Miss Classic on Friday, welcoming Indiana, North Dakota State, and Samford to Oxford this weekend. Ole Miss Rebels Elijah Moore, Kenny Yeboah, and Royce Newman all earned invitations to the 2021 NFL Combine, which was recently announced. The league's traditional showcase where top prospects are assessed by NFL general managers, coaches, and scouts will be held virtually in 2021 due to COVID-19 protocols. The NFL released a list of players that would have been invited to the event had it been held in order to recognize them for ranking among the top prospects for the upcoming NFL draft. Instead of bringing players to Indianapolis for the much-anticipated pre-draft event, the NFL will utilize Pro Day at each of the schools to supplement what is normally done at the Combine. Pro Day for Ole Miss will be held on March 25th. That's all I've got for sports. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Newswatch_UM and Instagram at Newswatch Ole Miss. Kennedy, back to you.
One national restaurant chain is giving back to first responders once again. Find out who next.
I just found out my work party is a +1. You want to go? This is my boss, Ella.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
You're welcome. Nope, I'm high. But I'll clean the kitchen while you're gone.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
Pool party at Jesse's. Can you drive? I'm toasted.
Nope, I'm high. But I can order us a ride.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
The Oxford Firehouse Subs is celebrating 10 years in town by giving out free subs to first responders. From store open to store closed, police officers, firefighters, military, personnel, and METs are invited to stop by to get a medium sub for no charge. All the official has to do is either be in uniform or show proper identification. This offer is only available for either dine-in or takeout, no third-party delivery. That's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. Make sure to follow our social media pages for all updates. I'm Kennedi Cooper. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend.